Good day, participants. Welcome to another learning session in the Division Research Training and Workshop. I am Mrs. Eresio C. Perenya, MCare Vice President from the District of Mendez Nunez. Today, I will be talking about research instrument validity, and instrument reliability. At the end of this learning session, the participants are expected to, first, know the basic concepts about research instruments. Second, determine the different types of instrument validity. Lastly, differentiate the types of instrument reliability. So what are research instruments? These are tools used to gather data about a particular topic. Examples of these are tests, questionnaire, interview, and observation. The three types of research instruments are adopted or borrowed, modified, or self-created or self-made research instruments. Here are the aspects to include in your action research. First, the actual or title of the instrument used, purpose, developer or author of the instrument, number of items or sections, response format used, scoring for the responses, and lastly, reliability and validity. You have to remember, make sure that you will align the items contained in your instruments with the research questions and/or objectives. Here's a sample of a research instrument. On the second part of this survey questionnaire, the participants were asked about satisfaction, trust, loyalty, calculative commitment, and affective commitment. Both satisfaction and trust are called latent variables. Satisfaction and trust both consist for items. Items are also called as indicators. Content validity can be applied to latent variables and corresponding indicators. What then is instrument validity? This refers to the degree to which an instrument measures what it is supposed to measure. This means that if your tool accurately satisfies your research questions or objectives, then your tool is valid. It has several types. Number 1, content validity, construct validity, and criterion validity. Content validity refers to the degree to which an instrument covers a representative sample or specific elements of the variables to be measured. This is done with the help of a list of specifications, and this list is provided by experts in your field of study. For example, you are to measure the love of coffee. You must make sure to include indicators that would sufficiently answer the participant's love for coffee. It can be items such as one's enjoyment with the smell of coffee, taste of coffee, or the effects of drinking coffee and the like. Next is the construct validity. This refers to the degree to which an instrument measures the variables being studied as a whole. A construct is often an intangible or abstract variable such as personality, intelligence, or moods. If your instrument cannot detect this intangible construct, it is considered invalid. Let's use the previous example. Let's say we are measuring the construct called the love of coffee, but our instruments were just about enjoying the aroma of coffee. Are we really measuring the love of coffee? Can we really measure that construct when all of our instrument items or indicators were just about enjoying the smell of coffee? The answer is clearly no, since that we won't be able to generalize the findings about the love of coffee. Lastly, the criterion validity. This refers to the degree to which an instrument predicts the characteristics of a variable in a certain way. This means that the instrument produces results similar to those of another instrument in measuring a certain variable. There are two types of criterion validity: the concurrent validity and the predictive validity. Concurrent validity happens when a tool is able to predict results similar to a test already validated in the past. An example of concurrent validity is whether an admission test produces similar results to those of national achievement test. The second type of criterion validity is the predictive criterion validity. Predictive validity happens when an instrument produces results similar to those of another instrument that will be employed in the future. An example of this is employing college admission test in mathematics. This may be used to predict the future performance of the students in math. Another important factor you need to consider when preparing or selecting instrument is reliability. Reliability refers to the consistency of the measures of an instrument. It is an aspect involved in the accuracy of measurement. There are four types of instrument reliability: test-retest reliability, equivalent forms reliability, internal consistency, and inter-rater reliability. Test and retest. This is achieved when administering an instrument twice to the same group of participants, then computing the consistency of scores. It is often ideal to conduct a retest after a short period of time, say for example, after 2 weeks, in order to record a higher correlation between the variables tested in the study. Next is the equivalent forms. Equivalent forms reliability is measured by administering two tests, identical in all aspects except the actual wording of the items. In short, these two tests have the same coverage, difficulty level, test type, and format. An example of a procedure involving equivalent forms reliability is administering a pre- and post-test. The third one is the internal consistency reliability. This is a measure of how well the items in two instruments measure the same construct. There are three ways to measure the internal consistency reliability. Number one, split half coefficient or split half reliability. Number two, Cronbach's alpha. Lastly, Coder-Richardson formula. Lastly, the inter-rater reliability. This measures the consistency of scores assigned by two or more raters on a certain set of results. The kappa coefficient is one of the most popular statistical tools in measuring this. The higher its value, the more reliable the instruments. A coefficient of at least 0.7 indicates that the instrument is reliable.